Hello everyone, my name is Jan Visselots, if you haven't forgotten, and I'm pretty sure you might have because I haven't been on this channel for a very long time. But anyways, welcome back to my channel. Yes, this is a comeback. I'm not dead. I survived this whole year, even more, a year and a half. And I'm coming back to making videos, which is great. In fact, I was away for very obvious reasons because of the pandemic and the lockdowns. This year was a huge stress and a huge challenge on me and my family. Thankfully, me and my partner were both healthy, and well, kind of we got out of this year pretty much safe. So, like, we didn't starve, even though our business died, at least one part of it. But thanks to the huge art community which I generated through the years on Instagram and Twitter and Tumblr, I was able to make enough money to survive all of this time. So I am immensely grateful to all the people who supported me on Patreon, who bought my prints on Etsy, who commissioned me. So thank you all. This was immensely important. This literally helped two people to survive during the pandemic. Saying so, I would like you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because we really have a great community here, and I would like you to follow me and to follow my path as an artist and to be among people who support me, because I try to generate a community which is supportive and is developing towards like trying new stuff in the arts and sharing experience with each other. So please subscribe and like this video, of course, to help the others to see that. Well, this is kind of a video in which I would like to talk about this whole experience this year was, and how I am and where I'm at the moment, both as a person and as an artist, because of course such tremendous stress and challenging times, they really make us kind of know what we can do, like know our limits, but also know the hidden strengths that we have within us. And that was the issue with me, because I really had to throw all of my energy and all of my resources to try and support our family by being an artist. And I did. This is one thing I'm very proud of, because I was really able to generate enough income by only doing art. And as you probably might know, I'm not a professional artist. I only started like learning how to draw like 6 years ago, and that wasn't initially my aim to make my sole income with art, but this is what I do right now. This is the major shift, major change that happened through these times. And probably if you want me to, I would also share my experience with that, like how I managed to do that. But also there was a darker side to that, because I really had to do this in a rush. Like our business was heavily dependent on tourism, and as you might guess, it completely like died, even though now it's slowly coming back to life. Let's hope we don't go on lockdown again. But really I had to just immediately jump into being a professional artist and to feed a family. And that ended up with me being incredibly burnt out by the end of 21. And this was where I ended up in the spring of 2021. And I was so tired, I was so exhausted, I was like really, I felt like I'm scrapping from the bottom of the barrel, like that I'm absolutely drained by the fear that I won't be able to sell art prints, or that the patrons will like abandon me, or I won't be able to generate enough interesting content. And also I kind of felt that I am so tired and so lacking energy that doing traditional watercolors becoming too stressful for me. Actually, I never thought about it in that way, because I started my art path as a watercolor artist, and I always loved watercolor, no matter, even though it's kind of a rather difficult material to master, because it hardly forgives you any mistakes. It's pretty easy to ruin a drawing, but I've never felt like I'm tired of it, and this is what a wall I hit during the pandemic year, because I felt that I'm literally unable to watercolor anymore because it requires so much concentration, so much resource, both mentally and emotionally and physically as well, that I am unable to generate. Because each time I tried to paint something with watercolor, I felt like I was sweating. I was literally feeling so stressed, probably because my ability to tolerate stress went down so much this year, because I just really had to endure a lot of stuff. So that was the reason why I tried to shift towards digital watercoloring completely. As you might see in this video, I am painting a portrait of Diluc from Genshin Impact, and I'm going to talk about Genshin Impact a little bit later, how the Genshin Impact impacted my life. So I turned to digital watercolor, and that really became a sort of way out for me. It did really play as a solution to so many problems, even though it took a learning curve. I will not lie, it really took some while for me to understand how to imitate watercolor well. And through this journey, I tried many tools. Like at first I started with basic brushes in Procreate, and they were definitely not enough. And then a friend made a present for me for my birthday, and that was a program which is called Rebel now 4, and I will probably make a video about it quite soon. Please let me know in the comment section if you're interested, because it's also an incredibly great tool to imitate watercolor and oil and other live materials. But the problem with Rebel was that the only way to use it was on the desktop, and in my case on my laptop, and I'm so very used to my iPad, which I'm so happy that I bought before the pandemic, when we were not in that financial hole that we ended up thanks to the lockdowns. I was so used to my iPad because iPad gave me freedom, to draw like in my chair, in my bed, like anywhere else. Like it didn't strain my back muscles and my neck muscles so much. And really iPad gives so much mobility that it's really hard to give it up for the sake of imitating some watercolor or anything else. And I'm really not used to drawing at my laptop anymore. This is what I just realized, that I haven't used my Wacom, a very old one, Wacom Intuos 5, like probably for 6 months or something. I haven't drawn anything on my laptop for months. I only edit my videos and probably write some scripts and posts on social media, but I don't draw in it anymore since I've had iPad, because this is how much comfortable it is. And I didn't want to come back to it. I didn't want to come back to like sitting and crouching under my table with my laptop and feeling how slowly but surely my neck and my shoulders and my right arm becomes stiff. I really wanted my freedom, so I tried to find a way how to still continue to use iPad and yet imitate watercolor in a really good way. So that's where my quest for good brushes started, and I ended up with few packs which really helped me to create very convincing imitations. And you can see here I'm using kind of a mixture of the brushes from different packs, which really work well. Establishing a pipeline with the digital watercoloring tools was so liberating, because I finally didn't have to worry about ruining the piece, that I will just waste so much time and end up with wrong colors or clumpy paper, or I have to worry about post-editing. I didn't have to wait for the paints to dry. And yes, I know that when you are resourceful, when you're not stressed, like playing with real paint can be so much fun, and it really works well just to experiment. But I was not in the right mental state for that, especially since I was very anxious about not having enough energy and time to produce enough content. And yes, I hate this whole concept of creating art not just as art, as an expression of your own emotions, but as content, something to be consumed. But this is the reality of where I was during this year. I just had to do this to stay afloat, to make money, to survive. And in that situation, which is probably absolutely unhealthy, and I really want to get out of it as soon as I can, but that was the solution I desperately needed, because it helped me to be more in the right headspace about my art. I was pretty much sure that I will be able to create the paintings that my audience would like, because a lot of people know me for my watercolors, and now I was able to work precisely in the same style, but without that much stress, without that much money wasted on the materials, and much easier for me. So that was really a way out, and I think I'm going to share some of my techniques and methods and process videos of the artworks that I made in that style. And also I'm going to make some tutorials for my patrons, so you're always welcome to support me there. And yes, this is Diluc from Genshin Impact, and Genshin game was also a life-saving experience for me, because like staying home for months, and we really had very harsh lockdowns here in Hungary, I really needed something to freshen up my emotions, to give me at least some experience, and playing this game with its amazing designs, and I really simply ran around the world simply to explore it and to see all those beautiful designs and places and characters, and to just participate in the story. It really helped me not to get too deep into depression, since lack of any sort of new emotional experiences. And this is why I'm very much into this fandom right now. I really enjoy drawing the characters, especially in my own style, so I try to translate the more stylized animated faces into my own visual language. As you can see here, I try to design them the way I see them more realistically. You can see I also even designed some sort of a realistic belt thing on the shoulder of Diluc, to make this sort of thing he uses for his sword to look more conveniently. And I'm really curious, guys, if you also play the game, if you know it, if you're in this fandom, if you like it, if you would like to see me paint more characters, because really Genshin is everywhere, and I really understand why. I actually plan to upload more videos with the process of drawing the characters and some scenes, and I'm not going to fix only on Procreate and digital watercoloring. I'm also planning some videos about oil imitations, and of course Clip Studio Paint, because I really love this program and I still use it quite a lot. So please let me know in the comment sections if there is anything in particular you want me to talk about in my future videos, and please help me bring life back to the channel by liking it, supporting it, sending the link to your friends, and also commenting it and giving me some ideas about the videos, so I would just use them and create some really interesting and valuable content for you guys. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you really like the way this portrait ended up, and please subscribe to my channel once more and tell me what you think about the stuff I said, and also tell me about your experience during the pandemic. See you soon, and thanks for watching.